In this last video, what we're going to be talking about is the institution contact information column. And the role that it plays is it is partially responsible for formatting the spreadsheet. So when it's very fresh and a school is not researched, like Queen's University, I've left it unresearched, it is going to highlight the title row a dark gray. And it's this color because this topmost cell in the institution contact information column is empty. If we found a contact there, we researched it, and his name was John Doe, and he was a person at Queen's, it now becomes a light gray. And so the light gray signifies that the school has been researched, but there's not yet any known projects at that school. To tell it that there are known projects at the school, you just gotta start entering some projects and putting in some sizes. And because the reason for that is because the light gray conditioning is such that when the future building projects is 0 or empty, which is also 0, it becomes a light gray. If it has a number there, so if we were to populate some projects, project number 1, and it's 1,000 square feet, boom, there's projects there now. That's how you tell the sheet that there's a project there, by filling in the size. It knows that there's projects there now, and now Queens is going to format white. If you do it in the reverse, you have sizes, you've technically got projects, so known real project, let's say that's the name of something, and the size is 1,000 square feet, but you don't have any people there, or you haven't told it like no staff directory available, which I will do if I can't find one to tell the system that I've researched it. So that's white because there's an entry there and there's the size. If that wasn't there, it thinks it's gray, and that's just because of the hierarchy that I have in the rules. It just considers this researched or not researched rule as the most important one. So just, if you can't find people or you don't have anyone in there, just no staff directory available or no one known at an institution, and then go ahead and throw your projects in, and then it'll tell you, oops, I'll keep it there. It'll tell you, okay, it's white, yay, there's, we can proceed, there's projects there. Because if this is closed, right, you don't want to expand everything. This way you know. That's why these rules are in place. So I'm going to go ahead and do pipeline project number 1 again. Delete that, and delete John Doe, who doesn't exist. Cool. Where this gets tricky is, that's all very, very simple. When it comes to McMaster, though, for example, I've inserted these bars here. I started adding more detail, telling some schools that had, or I started telling the spreadsheet at some schools where there are multiple planning documents that these projects came from this document, they fall under this priority, subdivision, and so on and so forth. When that happened, when I originally made those conditioning rules, these bars weren't there. They didn't exist, and so this, oh dear, I don't have anyone there. That was from a previous video that I messed up on. I'm just going to backspace until I get that person back. There it is. Debbie Martin. Okay. Sorry about that. When I originally made the formula, these bars weren't there, and so this cell was, I think, probably 1 or 2 under the title row cell, and then I inserted those bars to add detail, and then because of ranges, which are a thing in Google Sheets, and they're very finicky, the formula didn't stick. So instead of changing the formula and making it really long, I just deleted McMaster University from the rule. I took it out of the rule. I said, don't consider this range for that rule. And I'll show you how to do that right now. So if you want to change the conditional formatting, you have to click the title row that you want to affect, or any row really, but in this spreadsheet, in this context, we're doing these title rows. You go to Format up here, and you go to conditional formatting. And there are these rules. You'll notice that there's no rule to make these cells a dark gray. That's because I deleted it from McMaster. I deleted the McMaster range from the rule. But if I went down, if I minimize this school, I went to Queens, and I click Queens row, there it is. The rule is right there. It says if is blank, if it's blank, cell L80. So L is right there, and then 80, oh, that's $L80. That's like a weird referencing thing. But anyways, what it's saying is if the topmost cell of that contact row is empty, make it gray. This here is saying if I, like I5, which starts up here, if the future building projects is 0 or empty, make it light gray. And then the hierarchy is shown visually here. This is the most important rule. That's the second most important rule. If you want to take a school out of the rule, so let's say Queens was being annoying and it wasn't formatting the way I wanted it, and I just wanted to take the rule out and just do it myself just to make it easier. The rules are there for like 99% of the institutions. For the ones that act up, you can just do this. So click the conditional format, and then these are all of the ranges this rule applies across. So make sure you don't delete the rule, because it will delete it for this entire tab. You've got to go into the rule and you got to change the scales. So excuse me, the Queen's University title row is row 287. So we're going to find row 287 right here, and you would just delete it. And then hit OK, and it applies. It saves. It no longer has that rule applied to that range. I'm just going to do Control Z, which is undo, to get rid of that decision I just made. And that's how you do it. So in that case, like if I hadn't researched McMaster, but there were bars, and if I had inserted a row and made it a bar and did all these things and the rules weren't acting right, I would take out that rule, and then I would just say, you know what, Excel, you're being very frustrating today. I'm just going to do it myself. I'm just going to highlight it like this dark gray that I've chosen. And I think it's because I've got another rule on there. So I'll just delete this rule too from it. Delete. I guess you have to delete all the rules that apply, because it's going to actually, that makes sense, because what's happening here, the conditional formatting is just going to override any formatting that I do. So I'm just going to delete 287. I think I just deleted it. I did. Hit OK. Okay, now I went to a dark gray because that's how I formatted it before I deleted the rule being applied to it. So you can do it your own way. You can do it on your own that way. So that's how you go into adjusting the conditional formatting rules in this spreadsheet.